Talk about Unit 40, Arizona Water Law. So in this unit, it talks about in the modern world, water is a dwindling resource. So as an arid state with a growing population, Arizona's water laws are essential to preventing or to preserving this precious commodity for everyone's benefit. So this unit discusses the laws relating to both surface water and groundwater. So in the following, we're going to talk about the following topics here. So surface water and groundwater, renewable resources, Arizona Groundwater Management Code, restricted areas, assured water supply program, adequate water supply program, wells, adjudication of water rights, grandfather water rights. So after we complete the unit, you're going to be able to define the two categories of water, state Arizona's doctrine relating to surface water, list renewable water resources, discuss the Arizona Groundwater Management Code objectives, define and compare irrigation non-expansion areas and active groundwater management areas, discuss requirements relating to the Assured Water Supply Program, discuss requirements relating to the Adequate Water Supply Program, define and exempt well, discuss well registration procedures, explain well share agreements and define a community water system, discuss the lawsuit relating to adjudication of water rights, list the three types of grandfathered water rights. Okay, so you're going to do a little bit of an independent study as I go over the unit summary and the unit quiz. All right, so for the unit summary, let's review these key points. So the two types of water are surface water and groundwater. So you got surface water, and you got groundwater. Regarding surface water, Arizona recognizes the doctrine of prior appropriation, which means first in time is first in right. First in time is first in right. So renewable water sources include CAP, right? Central Arizona Project, CAP, Central Arizona Groundwater Replenishment District, call it KGRID, effluent. So in the AMAs in Maricopa, Pima, and Pinal counties, KGRID is responsible for replenishing groundwater using CAP water. Property owners within KGRID are charged on their property tax bill. The Arizona Groundwater Management Code was established in 1980 and established the Arizona Department of Water Resources. The objectives of the code are to control severe overdraft, provide means for allocating groundwater, increasing Arizona's water supplies through supplemental sources such as the Central Arizona Project, also known as CAP. So an INA, irrigation non-expansion area, is an area where irrigation uses threatens to exceed limited water supplies. That's what we call an INA. The Assured Water Supply Program requires that inside an AMA, no subdivision public report will be issued unless ADWR has issued a certificate of assured water supply, which carries a 100-year certificate. Inside an AMA, the subfolder or water provider must demonstrate an uninterruptible 100-year supply, financial ability to construct the water delivery system. Subdivision goals are consistent with AMA management goals. Outside of an AMA, ADWR's adequate water supply program must be followed. Subdividers must provide a water adequacy report from ADWR with the public report application. An exempt well is one which was used for domestic purposes, not for irrigation. The maximum pump capacity on an exempt well is 35 gallons per minute, 35 GPM. All wells must be registered with ADWR and receive a registration number. When property with the well is sold, a transfer form must be filed with ADWR. Well sharing agreements are private contracts that govern how a well provides water to multiple properties. Well share agreements that serve up to 14 service connections or up to 24 residents in an area are regulated by the agreement. Wells which serve 15 or more service connections or which serve 25 or more residents on a year-round basis constitute a community water system. Community water systems are regulated by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, ADEQ. Water rights in the Gila River system and Little Colorado River system are being adjudicated in the courts. Well owners must file claim to be included in court decisions. An irrigation grandfathered water right allows use of groundwater to irrigate specific acreage that was irrigated between 1975 and 1980 and may not be sold separately from the land. A Type 1 non-irrigation right applies to water refined from irrigation. It can be used for industry or a subdivision and may not be sold separately from the land. A Type 2 non-irrigation right is based on historical groundwater pumping for a non-irrigation use, such as livestock watering, industry, or golf courses, and may be sold separately from the land. So, number one, all the following are considered grandfathered water rights except what? Except exempt domestic well. So, exempt domestic well is not grandfather water rights. A Type 1 right is a grandfather water right. Type 2 is a grandfather water right. Rights held prior to a legislative change is a grandfathered water right. The doctrine of water usage in Arizona is known as prior appropriation. So prior appropriation, that's the doctrine of water usage in Arizona. It's known as prior appropriation. Is it known as riparian? No. Littoral? No. Personal property? No. What must a subdivider developing lots outside of an AMA include in the public report application? It must include water adequacy reports. Water adequacy reports. So again, what must a subdivider developing lots outside of an AMA include in the public report application? Water adequacy report. Certificate of assured water supply? No. Bond assuring the installation of water infrastructure? No. Certificate of well right transfer? No. When grandfathered water rights are reclassified and can now be sold separate from the land, this reclassification is known as Delta Type 2. Type 2. So is it Type 1? No. Assured? No. Adequate? No. Type 2 is when grandfather water rights are reclassified and can now be sold separate from the land. The reclassification known as Type 2. This function to replenish groundwater used by member lands and member service areas is Delta CAP, right? Central Arizona Groundwater Replenishing District. All right, so this functions to replenish groundwater used by member lands and member service areas. It's called the Central Arizona Groundwater Replenishment District. Is it the irrigation on expansion area? No. Active management area? No. An exempt well? No. A new subdivision is being developed within the Central Arizona Groundwater Replenishment District. The first time the home buyer will see the assessment fee will be on their Alpha property tax bill. Property tax bill. So, a new subdivision is being developed within the Central Arizona Groundwater Replenishment Act. The first time the home buyer will see the assessment fee will be on their property tax bill. So that property tax bill also has some of the water fees on there. First water bill, no. Closing water statement, no. Website, no. Which of the following is true regarding irrigation grandfather water rights? So they run with the land, Alpha. So they run with the land. Which of the following is true regarding irrigation grandfathered water rights? They run with the land. Are sold separate from the land? No. May be sold separate if within 10 years? No. Will be canceled when the land is sold? No. When a property that has a well is sold, what must be sent to ADWR? The transfer of well rights form. So there's a form, transfer of well rights form. That transfer of well rights form must be sent to ADWR when a property that has a well is sold. Affidavit of disclosure, no. Water adequacy report, no. Well inspection report, no. Transfer of well rights form. If a subdivider is applying for a public report within an AMA but outside of an incorporated municipality, the subdivider must what? Bravo, provide a certificate of assured water supply for the subdivision from the Arizona Department of Water Resources. So again, it comes down to giving that certificate of assured water supply. Provide a certificate showing that a well will be drilled. No. Provide a certificate of assured water supply for the municipality. No, it's not municipality, it's subdivision from the Arizona Department of Water. So they're trying to trick you right here. They changed that one word. Provide a water adequacy report. No. Water rights for what Arizona rivers are being adjudicated in court? Delta. This is the Gila and Little Colorado rivers. Gila and Little Colorado rivers. Gila and Little Colorado rivers. So water rights for what Arizona rivers are being adjudicated in court? The Gila and Little Colorado rivers. Gila and Salt rivers? No. Gila and Santa Cruz rivers? No. Gila and Colorado rivers? No. Gila and Little Colorado rivers? Yes. Within the Arizona Groundwater Code, all the following rights were created except Bravo, subdivision grandfathered right. So all these codes were created except that one, except subdivision. So irrigation grandfather rights, yeah. Type 1 and type 2 non-irrigation rights, yeah. When land is designated to be in an AMA, which of the following apply? Bravo, overdraft of the underground water supply may be occurring. So overdraft of the underground water supply may be occurring. Overdraft. So when land is designated to be in an active management area, which the following apply, overdraft of the underground water may be occurring, right? So active management area, so you're managing that area, so you might have overdraft. Right? So the land is located out of the cap supply zone, no. Surface water rights have been eliminated, no. Irrigation rights have been lost, no. In Arizona, any well must Alpha be registered with ADWR. So be registered with ADWR. Any well in Arizona must be registered with ADWR. Have a minimum pump capacity of 35 gallon per minute? No. Be shared with adjacent property owners? No. Have a minimum depth of 300 feet? No. You got to be registered. All are considered to be renewable water sources except Bravo, deep groundwater. Deep groundwater. So the deep groundwater is considered to be renewable water sources except deep groundwater. So is it Central Arizona Project? No. Central Arizona groundwater replenishment districts? No. Effluent? No. Well share agreements? So the Charlie are enforced by the parties to the agreement. Are enforced by the parties to the agreement. So are enforced by the parties to the agreement. That's well share agreements. Are regulated by ADWR? No. Must be recorded? No. Are prohibited if a well is shared by more than 14 parties? No. Are enforced by the parties to the agreement. Which area is not an irrigation non-expansion area? Alpha, Santa Cruz. So Santa Cruz is not an irrigation expansion area. Is Harguahala? Yes. Joseph City? Yes. And Douglas? Yes. But Santa Cruz is not an irrigation non-expansion area. When a residential developer is building houses in an active management area, which of the following would apply? D, assured water supply. Assured water supply. So an assured water supply is when a residential developer is building houses in an active management area. Assured water supply would apply. Riparian rights, no. Adequate water supply, no. Exempt domestic oil, no. All of the following apply to educated water rights except what? Charlie, except it applies to all underground streams in Arizona? No, does not. So land located within the boundaries of the Gila River? Yes. Water users would be required to file a claim? Yeah. When the property is sold, the seller files a well change of ownership? Yeah. So it applies to all underground? No. Historic overdraft of water in parts of Arizona has led to a compaction of soil. This compaction is referred to as Charlie subsidence. Subsidence. Okay. So subsidence is a compaction. All right. It's referred to as subsidence. So historic overdraft of water in parts of Arizona has led to a compaction of soil. When you compact that soil, it's called subsidence. Is it subordination? No. Subsidence? No. Slope failure? No. If a property lies within the boundaries of the areas in which water rights are being adjudicated, the owners, Delta, must file a claim to be included in the court's decision. They must file a claim to be included in the court's decision. So again, must file a claim to be included in the court's decision. So if a property lies within the boundaries of the areas in which water rights are being adjudicated, the owners have to file a claim to be included in that court decision. Are they automatically included in the court action? No, they got to file that claim. Must wait until the court decision is made? No. Are not affected by the court action? No, they are affected. In a new Arizona subdivision, which of the following would be acceptable to show there is an adequate water supply for the public reports? So sweet bravo, the municipality can supply the water. The municipality can supply the water. So in a new Arizona subdivision, which of the following would be acceptable to show there is an adequate water supply for the public report? So the municipality can supply the water. The municipality will pay for the improvements? No. The property is adjacent to the Central Arizona project? No. The developer will drill new wells? No. So the municipality can supply the water. The Arizona Groundwater Management Code has created an active management and other areas which include, bravo, irrigation non-expansion areas. Irrigation non-expansion areas. Irrigation non-expansion areas is where the Arizona Groundwater Management Code created active management and other areas, which include the irrigation expansion areas. Grandfather water areas, no. Water resource areas, no. Residential management areas, no. Which is not applicable to a community water system. Delta, they are regulated by the Arizona Department of Water Resources. So that's not applicable to a community water system. They are regulated by the Arizona, so it's not true. That's not applicable. So a well which serves 15 or more service connections, yes. A well which serves 25 or more residents, yes. They are regulated by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, yes. They are regulated by the Arizona Department of Water Resources, no. Which of the following is not an AMA? So this is Douglas, not an active management area. So Santa Cruz is, yes. Prescott, yes. Tucson, yes. Douglas, no. It's not an AMA. Arizona water law is based on the concept of what? First in time, first in right. So that's the water law. First in time, first in right. First in time, first in right. Okay, so Arizona water law is based on the concept of first in time, first in right. Is it based on caveat emptor? No. Riparian rights? No. Constitutional right? No.